You've heard it before. They say you can't do it. They claim you're not enough. It's as if they've boxed you in, labeled you, thinking they know your limits better than you do. But remember this, no one knows your true potential, not even you. And that's why this journey, this quest to prove everyone wrong, is so powerful. Doubt can feel like a heavy burden, but what if we could shift that? What if instead we saw doubt as the starting point of transformation? Because when someone doubts you, they hand you the fuel to rise, to create, to build a life on the very foundation of their disbelief that the world is full of doubters. It's common to encounter people who doubt your capabilities, question your ambitions, and think you're aiming too high. Their doubts come from various places, some rooted in concern, others in fear, and some from their own limitations. Yet the critical choice you have lies in how you respond to this doubt. You can allow it to weigh you down, to keep you boxed into the definitions others have made for you. Or you can harness that energy and transform it into fuel for your journey. When others doubt you, it can feel disheartening, even painful. No one enjoys feeling dismissed, underestimated, or overlooked. But what if we could shift our perspective? Imagine a world where instead of feeling limited by doubts, you see them as an opportunity to break free from others' expectations and set your own path. This mindset turns doubt from a stumbling block into a stepping stone. It becomes a tool that sharpens your resolve and strengthens your commitment. Think of doubt as a spark. Every time someone questions your ability, that's the world giving you a chance to prove something not necessarily to them, but to yourself. You see, true growth isn't about changing the minds of others. It's about rising to your own potential, challenging yourself to surpass your limits, and recognizing just how capable you are. Every doubter is unknowingly challenging you to break free of your perceived limitations, even if their intent isn't to motivate you. And that's the beauty of doubt. It's as much an invitation to prove them wrong as it is a reminder of the power you hold to prove yourself right. When someone doubts your dreams or ambitions, they reveal their understanding of limitations, not yours. Their disbelief has more to do with their worldview, their past experiences, or their own insecurities than with what you're truly capable of achieving. The real power lies in recognizing that doubt is often a reflection of the doubter and has little to do with your actual potential. When you understand this, you can remove the emotional weight of their disbelief and redirect that energy into building your future. Embracing the power of doubt also means learning to accept it as a natural part of the journey. No one who achieves greatness ever does so without facing resistance. People doubted the Wright brothers, laughed at Thomas Edison, and dismissed countless innovators and changemakers throughout history. Yet, these individuals used doubt as fuel for their progress. They didn't see doubt as a definitive judgment of their worth. Instead, they saw it as a catalyst, a reason to dig deeper, a reminder to keep going when the path got tough. Turning doubt into motivation requires intentionality. Each time you encounter a moment of disbelief, whether in the form of a critical remark, a dismissive glance, or a lack of support, pause and ask yourself, what will I do with this energy? Rather than letting it sit heavy on your shoulders, transform it. Use it as a daily reminder of the journey you're on and the strength you're cultivating. Instead of shrinking under doubt, expand in response to it. Let it remind you why you started in the first place and how far you're willing to go. Doubt can also reveal to you who you are at your core. When you rise despite it, when you refuse to let others' disbelief define you, you're solidifying your sense of self. It's like planting a tree in rocky soil. The roots have to go deeper. They have to grow stronger to find nourishment. Similarly, when you face doubt and continue to rise, you're strengthening the roots of your identity, your confidence, and your belief in your purpose. The power of doubt isn't about proving something to everyone else. It's about proving to yourself that you're capable, resilient, determined. In the end, doubt has become part of your story, reminders of where you came from, and of all the things you overcame to be where you are. Doubt, when used intentionally, doesn't weaken you, it fortifies you. It's an invitation to rise above, not just the expectations of others, but to exceed even your expectations of yourself. So embrace doubt, transform it, take every ounce of disbelief and pour it into the work you're doing, the dreams you're chasing, and the life you're building. This is how you'll not only prove others wrong, but discover what you're truly made of. Turning pain into purpose is one of the most profound and transformative journeys a person can undertake. We all experience pain in life, be it rejection, failure, heartbreak, or a setback that feels like it's ripped something away from us. In those moments, it's natural to feel defeated, even lost, as if the pain is a weight holding us back. But there is a powerful choice hidden within every painful experience, the choice to use that pain as the fuel to create something meaningful. Pain, when looked at through a new lens, is not the end of the road, it's the raw material for something greater, something lasting. When we first encounter pain, our initial reaction is often to avoid it, numb it, or escape it. Society often teaches us to move on as quickly as possible, to get back to life without fully processing what we've been through. But moving too quickly through pain can rob us of the transformative potential it holds. The first step in turning pain into purpose is to truly acknowledge it, to face it head on. This doesn't mean wallowing in it, but allowing ourselves to sit with it long enough to understand its lessons, to see what it's teaching us. Pain has a way of exposing our deepest truths. It reveals what we value, who we are, and what truly matters to us. When we lean into that, we begin to find the beginnings of purpose. The power of pain lies in its ability to change us, to shape our perspective, to strengthen our resolve, and to help us develop resilience. When we go through tough times, we learn empathy, compassion, and patience. We gain a deep understanding of struggle that cannot be taught in any other way. People who have experienced hardship often possess a unique kind of strength, one that comes from having endured and come through to the other side. This strength becomes the foundation for their purpose as they use their experiences to uplift, support, and inspire others who may be going through similar struggles. Turning pain into purpose also involves rethinking the narratives we tell ourselves about our experiences. It's easy to look at our pain and think, why did this happen to me? But what if we shifted that question to how can I use this experience to help others? This small shift changes the story from one of victimhood to one of empowerment. Suddenly, the pain isn't something that happened to us, but something we're using to make a difference. Our past becomes a resource, a guide to help others navigate their own journeys. It's not about forgetting what happened, it's about transforming it into something meaningful that helps others and elevates our own lives. Many people who have experienced intense pain often discover a newfound sense of purpose when they share their stories. By being vulnerable and open about what they've been through, they create a safe space for others to find hope and inspiration. Whether it's by speaking, writing, or simply offering a listening ear to someone who's struggling, every act of sharing transforms pain into a bridge that connects and heals. And in helping others, we find healing ourselves. There's a unique strength that comes from knowing that our suffering was not in vain, that it now serves a greater purpose in the world. Pain can also teach us the importance of aligning with our authentic selves. Often, the pain we experience can stem from feeling disconnected from our true nature or values. When we take time to reflect on why certain experiences caused us so much pain, we uncover insights about who we are and what we want from life. These insights guide us to redefine our goals, to set boundaries, and to pursue passions that align with our newfound understanding of ourselves. Pain, in this way, acts as a compass, guiding us toward a life that feels purposeful, fulfilling, and true to who we are. In the end, turning pain into purpose is about embracing our struggles and using them to grow. It's about realizing that life's challenges don't define us, it's how we respond to them that shapes our character. The process may not be easy, and it certainly doesn't happen overnight, but with patience, reflection, and intention, we can turn our pain into a source of light, not only for ourselves, but for everyone around us. We find a way to rise from the ashes of hardship, using every scar as a reminder of our strength, every wound as a lesson, and every moment of suffering as the fuel to build a life rooted in purpose. This is how we transform pain, not by letting it consume us, but by letting it become the foundation for something meaningful. And in doing so, we honor not only the journey we've been through, but the person we've become. Redefining failure as learning is one of the most empowering shifts we can make on our path to growth. Failure is often viewed as an endpoint, a mark of inadequacy or limitation. We live in a culture that prizes success, achievement, and results, often at the expense of acknowledging the learning that comes from falling short. But imagine a life where failure isn't a barrier, instead, it's a powerful stepping stone. When we stop viewing failure as the opposite of success and instead see it as an integral part of the journey, we open ourselves up to unlimited growth and potential. At its core, failure is simply feedback. It's life showing us what didn't work, guiding us to refine our approach and adapt. Every time we fail, we receive valuable information, insights into what went wrong, where we could improve, and what adjustments we might need to make moving forward. Instead of seeing failure as a reason to stop, we can choose to see it as a clear, actionable map that highlights the areas we need to work on. In this way, failure becomes a source of direction rather than discouragement. The fear of failure can be paralyzing because we're conditioned to associate it with negative outcomes. We think it's something to avoid at all costs, something to be ashamed of. This mindset keeps us within the confines of our comfort zone, preventing us from taking risks, exploring new ideas, or challenging ourselves. But the truth is, if we're not failing from time to time, we're probably not pushing ourselves hard enough. Growth happens at the edge of discomfort, in those moments when we're unsure of the outcome. When we redefine failure as learning, we release ourselves from the fear of taking risks because we know that every setback is a chance to learn, adjust, and try again with more knowledge than before. In redefining failure, we also change the story we tell ourselves about success. Often we only focus on people's accomplishments, overlooking the countless failures and rejections that paved the way for their breakthroughs. Every innovator, artist, athlete, and entrepreneur has a history of setbacks that taught them valuable lessons. By looking at failure as a part of the process, we recognize that success isn't a straight line, it's a winding path filled with lessons and moments of growth. Realizing this can bring a deep sense of relief. It allows us to appreciate the journey rather than rushing toward a destination that seems elusive or rigidly defined. Failure, when viewed as learning, teaches us resilience. Resilience isn't built in moments of triumph, it's developed in the face of challenge, rejection, and setbacks. Each failure becomes a testament to our ability to get back up, try again, and keep moving forward. In this way, failure becomes a strength rather than a weakness. It's a reminder that we are capable of enduring difficulties, that we can persevere through the hardest moments, and that we have the inner fortitude to continue even when things don't go as planned. This resilience becomes a lifelong asset, empowering us to face future challenges with a sense of confidence and adaptability. Seeing failure as a learning experience also changes our perspective on problem solving and creativity. When we're not afraid to fail, we're more willing to experiment, to take innovative approaches, and to think outside the box. This openness to failure fosters a sense of curiosity and playfulness, where every attempt is a chance to learn something new. In this way, failure becomes a driver of creativity, encouraging us to explore ideas without being attached to perfection. We begin to see that the journey itself, the process of discovery, refinement, and iteration, is where true innovation and personal growth take place. Moreover, when we redefine failure as learning, we give ourselves permission to forgive ourselves for past mistakes. Instead of carrying the weight of regret, we can look back on our past with a sense of gratitude for the lessons it taught us. Every failure becomes a teacher, every mistake an opportunity for growth. This shift in perspective allows us to let go of shame or self-doubt and to replace it with self-compassion and understanding. We begin to see that we're not defined by our failures, rather we're defined by how we respond to them. This gives us the freedom to try, to stumble, and to try again, knowing that each experience is adding to our wisdom and resilience. When failure is redefined as learning, we also become more open to feedback and constructive criticism. Instead of seeing criticism as a threat, we welcome it as an essential tool for improvement. We're no longer defensive or afraid to hear where we went wrong. Instead, we actively seek out feedback because we know it will help us grow. This willingness to embrace feedback enhances our personal and professional relationships as it fosters a culture of openness, trust, and continuous improvement. Ultimately, viewing failure as learning gives us the courage to pursue our dreams with an open heart and a fearless spirit. It reminds us that the path to success isn't about avoiding mistakes, but about growing through them. Every failure becomes a chapter in our story, a moment that contributes to our evolution. This perspective allows us to look forward to challenges with excitement rather than dread, knowing that whatever happens will emerge from the experience stronger, wiser, and better prepared for the future. And in this journey of growth, we realize that success is not a final destination, but a continuous process of learning, adapting, and striving to become our best selves. Creating instead of competing is a mindset that shifts our focus from comparing ourselves to others to focusing on what we uniquely bring to the world. In a world so caught up in competition, where everyone is constantly measuring their success by the success of others, choosing to create instead of compete can be a radical act. Rather than constantly looking over our shoulder to see what others are doing, this mindset encourages us to look within and find our purpose, our unique voice, and our unique gifts. When we focus on creating, we step off the never-ending race of competition and move into a space where we're guided by our own potential rather than external comparisons. Competition can be limiting because it often keeps us focused on someone else's path rather than our own. We end up defining success based on what others are doing or achieving. When we're busy competing, we can easily lose touch with our own values and what genuinely inspires us. However, when we adopt a mindset of creation, we take ownership of our journey. We stop trying to replicate someone else's vision of success and instead focus on building our own. This shift from competition to creation allows us to move beyond a survival mentality to a space of genuine innovation, where we're no longer reacting to others but actively shaping our own path. Creating instead of competing also allows us to embrace authenticity. When we're focused on competing, there's often pressure to conform, to fit into a mold, or to do things in a way that's been validated by others. We might feel compelled to follow trends or adopt someone else's formula for success because we're afraid of falling behind. But when we shift our focus to creating, we're free to bring our whole, authentic selves into the work we do. Authenticity becomes the foundation of our creation, and we start to produce work, ideas, and projects that truly reflect who we are. This authenticity not only makes our work unique, but it also allows us to connect more deeply with others who resonate with what we're offering. When we choose to create, we also tap into an endless source of motivation and energy. Competing can often feel exhausting because it's driven by a fear of not being enough. The focus is on scarcity, on making sure we have more or are better than others. But creation comes from a place of abundance. When we're creating, we're not worried about what everyone else has or doesn't have. We're simply pouring our passion and vision into something we believe in. This sense of purpose fuels us, making the process itself fulfilling rather than draining. We're no longer chasing success to win against others. We're pursuing something meaningful because it's part of who we are. Another benefit of creating instead of competing is that it encourages collaboration rather than division. In a competitive mindset, we often see others as threats or obstacles. But when we're focused on creating, we recognize that each person has a unique contribution to make, and there's room for all of us. Creation fosters a collaborative spirit, where instead of feeling threatened by someone else's success, we're inspired by it. We see others as allies, potential partners, or even teachers who can help us grow. In this way, a creative mindset helps us build stronger relationships and more supportive communities, where everyone's strengths are celebrated and everyone has space to thrive. Choosing to create also allows us to be more resilient. In a competitive mindset, setbacks and failures can feel like defeats because they remind us that we're not winning. But when we're focused on creating, we're more willing to take risks, to try new things, and to embrace the process, even if it includes failure. We see challenges as opportunities to improve, refine, and deepen our work. This perspective makes us more adaptable, as we're not trying to fit into a predetermined idea of success, but are instead continuously evolving and growing. With a creative mindset, there's no fear of falling behind because the journey itself is the reward, and each step forward, regardless of the outcome, brings us closer to realizing our vision. Finally, creating rather than competing connects us to our purpose. Competition often disconnects us from our true selves as we're focused on external validation, trying to meet others' standards or expectations. But creating requires us to go within, to listen to our intuition, and to align with what truly matters to us. When we create from this place of purpose, our work becomes a reflection of our inner values and beliefs. It's no longer about achieving some arbitrary status or accolade, it's about bringing something meaningful into the world. This sense of purpose brings fulfillment that no external validation could ever match, because it's rooted in something deeply personal and real. In choosing to create rather than compete, we free ourselves from the exhausting need to measure up and embrace the opportunity to build something lasting, something genuine. This mindset shift doesn't mean we ignore others or work in isolation. Instead, it allows us to connect with others more authentically and support each other's growth. We begin to see success not as a competition but as a collective journey where each of us has a unique role to play. By creating rather than competing, we unlock a source of joy, purpose, and resilience that can carry us forward, not just in our work but in every area of life. It's a mindset that transforms not only our approach to success, but also our approach to ourselves, helping us discover the beauty of our own journey and the endless potential within us. Embracing delayed gratification is one of the most powerful tools for achieving long-term success and fulfillment. In a world that constantly pushes instant results and immediate pleasure, the ability to wait, to work patiently toward a goal, and to resist short-term temptations can set us apart. Delayed gratification is about understanding that meaningful rewards often take time, dedication, and perseverance. When we prioritize our long-term goals over immediate desires, we not only increase our chances of success, but also strengthen our self-discipline, resilience, and sense of purpose. By delaying gratification, we give ourselves the opportunity to build something lasting and impactful. One of the key benefits of embracing delayed gratification is that it teaches us to value the process. When we're solely focused on the end result, we can become impatient and frustrated if things don't happen as quickly as we want. But when we learn to delay gratification, we begin to appreciate each step along the journey. We realize that growth happens in the everyday actions, in the small habits we cultivate, and in the gradual progress we make over time. Every step becomes an opportunity for learning, for refining our skills, and for building the foundation that will eventually lead to success. By embracing the process, we're no longer solely fixated on the end goal. Instead, we find meaning and fulfillment in the work itself. Delayed gratification also helps us develop resilience. Life is filled with obstacles, setbacks, and unexpected challenges. If we're constantly seeking immediate rewards, we may give up at the first sign of difficulty. But when we practice delayed gratification, we build the mental strength to endure challenges without losing sight of our goals. We learn to see setbacks as temporary and as part of the journey, rather than as reasons to quit. This resilience becomes a valuable asset that helps us stay committed even when things get tough. It's like training a muscle. The more we practice waiting and persisting through challenges, the stronger our resilience becomes, enabling us to push through difficulties with confidence and determination. The practice of delayed gratification also leads to greater self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to stay focused on what truly matters, even when distractions and temptations arise. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with quick fixes and instant gratification, cultivating self-discipline can feel like a superpower. Delayed gratification strengthens this self-discipline by training us to say no to what doesn't serve our goals. It teaches us to prioritize our time, energy, and resources toward the things that matter most, helping us avoid distractions and stay on track. With self-discipline, we're able to make intentional choices rather than acting on impulse. And this intentionality becomes a foundation for success in every area of our lives. Another benefit of delayed gratification is that it leads to deeper satisfaction and fulfillment. Instant rewards may feel good in the moment, but they rarely provide lasting happiness. True fulfillment often comes from achieving something we've worked hard for, something we poured our time, energy, and passion into. When we delay gratification and stay committed to our goals, the eventual reward feels more meaningful. We experience a sense of accomplishment that can't be matched by any quick fix or shortcut. This deep sense of satisfaction reminds us of our capability and resilience, fueling our confidence to pursue even bigger dreams. Delayed gratification also aligns us with our values and helps us avoid decisions that might bring immediate pleasure but conflict with our long-term vision. When we take the time to consider our choices carefully, we're able to make decisions that are in alignment with who we want to become and what we truly value. This alignment brings a sense of inner peace, as we're no longer swayed by fleeting desires or external pressures. Instead, we're grounded in our purpose and able to make choices that reflect our true priorities. This intentionality helps us build a life that is authentic and meaningful, a life that reflects our deepest values and aspirations. One of the greatest outcomes of practicing delayed gratification is that it cultivates a mindset of abundance. When we're constantly seeking instant rewards, it's easy to fall into a scarcity mentality, always needing more and never feeling satisfied. But when we're willing to wait and invest in the future, we recognize that we're already on a path to growth and abundance. Delaying gratification helps us shift our focus from what we lack to what we're building. We come to understand that true wealth is created over time through patience, persistence, and commitment. This abundance mindset allows us to enjoy the journey without feeling rushed, and it brings a sense of calm and confidence in our long-term success. In addition to building resilience, self-discipline, fulfillment, and an abundance mindset, delayed gratification also strengthens our ability to make wise decisions. When we're not driven by immediate desires, we have the clarity and perspective to evaluate options more carefully. We're able to think about the long-term consequences of our actions rather than acting on impulse. This leads to smarter choices that benefit us in the long run, whether it's in our career, relationships, or personal growth. By embracing delayed gratification, we become better decision makers, capable of making choices that serve our highest potential. Finally, delayed gratification teaches us to trust the process and trust ourselves. In a world that often demands instant results, it can be challenging to have faith in the journey. But when we commit to delaying gratification, we learn to trust that our efforts will pay off, even if we don't see immediate results. We develop patience, knowing that everything worthwhile takes time. This trust allows us to stay focused and committed, even when the path isn't clear. By practicing delayed gratification, we build a strong foundation for success, knowing that the rewards will come when the time is right. It's this trust in the journey that ultimately allows us to create a life of lasting fulfillment and purpose. In embracing delayed gratification, we unlock a powerful way of living, one that is rooted in resilience, self-discipline, intentionality, and trust. This mindset shift transforms our relationship with success, helping us see that true fulfillment is not found in quick rewards, but in the steady, purposeful pursuit of our dreams. By delaying gratification, we build a future that aligns with our deepest values, one that reflects our potential, and one that brings us genuine, lasting happiness. Mastering self-belief is a transformative journey that goes beyond simply feeling confident in our abilities. It's about cultivating an unshakable trust in our own potential, even when external circumstances might challenge it. Self-belief is the foundation for every success, the quiet force that allows us to take risks, pursue our goals, and persist even in the face of setbacks. It's a deep-rooted conviction that despite challenges or failures, we possess what it takes to achieve our dreams. Mastering self-belief means not only having faith in our skills and talents, but also in our capacity to learn, grow, and overcome. One of the key aspects of self-belief is that it gives us the courage to take the first step toward our dreams. Often the most challenging part of any journey is taking that leap into the unknown when there's no guarantee of success. Without self-belief, we might wait endlessly for the perfect moment, which may never come. But when we believe in ourselves, we recognize that the first step doesn't have to be perfect. Instead, it's about trusting that we can handle whatever comes next, that we'll be able to learn from each step and adapt along the way. Self-belief acts as a bridge between intention and action, helping us take that crucial first step, which then sets everything else into motion. Self-belief also fuels resilience. Life is filled with obstacles, and when we don't have a solid sense of self-belief, every setback can feel overwhelming. We might start to doubt our abilities or question whether our goals are even achievable. But when we have self-belief, we understand that challenges are simply part of the journey. Instead of seeing them as barriers, we see them as opportunities to grow and learn. We trust that, regardless of the difficulty, we have the strength and creativity to find a way forward. This resilience born from self-belief keeps us moving, helping us bounce back from failure and continue striving for our goals no matter how tough the road becomes. Another powerful effect of self-belief is that it helps us make decisions with confidence. Without self-belief, we might constantly second-guess ourselves, worry about what others will think, or feel pressured to conform to others' expectations. This lack of confidence can paralyze us, making us afraid to make choices that truly align with our values and dreams. But when we believe in ourselves, we develop a clear sense of direction. We're able to make decisions based on our own inner guidance rather than external opinions or fleeting fears. Self-belief gives us the freedom to make choices that align with who we are, creating a life that reflects our true values and aspirations. Self-belief is also a powerful antidote to self-doubt and fear. In the pursuit of our goals, it's natural to encounter moments of insecurity or fear of failure. These feelings can be particularly strong when we're stepping outside of our comfort zone or attempting something new. But when we have self-belief, we're able to acknowledge these feelings without letting them control our actions. We understand that fear and self-doubt are normal but temporary experiences. Self-belief helps us push through these feelings, reminding us that we don't have to be fearless to succeed. We just need to trust ourselves enough to keep going despite the fear. Mastering self-belief also changes the way we view ourselves in relation to others. When we lack self-belief, we're more likely to fall into the trap of comparison, feeling threatened by others' successes or achievements. But when we believe in ourselves, we recognize that everyone's journey is unique, and someone else's success doesn't diminish our own. Self-belief gives us the confidence to celebrate others' victories without feeling insecure about our own path. This mindset frees us from the constant need for validation or approval, allowing us to stay focused on our journey rather than being distracted by comparisons. Self-belief also enhances our creativity and willingness to take risks. When we trust in our abilities, we're more willing to explore new ideas, take on challenges, and innovate without fear of failure. Self-belief allows us to operate from a place of possibility rather than limitation. We start to see obstacles as puzzles to be solved, rather than roadblocks to be avoided. This confidence fuels our creativity, helping us approach problems with a sense of curiosity and openness rather than hesitation or doubt. With self-belief, we feel empowered to think outside the box and pursue unconventional solutions, which often leads to breakthroughs and moments of unexpected success. A profound benefit of self-belief is the sense of inner peace and fulfillment it brings. When we trust in ourselves, we stop feeling the need to prove our worth or seek constant validation from others, and are able to find contentment in who we are, knowing that we are enough, regardless of external achievements. This inner peace creates a foundation of stability and self-acceptance that cannot be shaken by criticism, rejection, or temporary setbacks. Instead of relying on others' approval to feel good about ourselves, we cultivate a sense of fulfillment that comes from within. Mastering self-belief is not a one-time achievement, it's a continuous practice. There will be moments when doubt or fear re-emerges, but each time we reaffirm our belief in ourselves, we strengthen it. Building self-belief is like nurturing a relationship. It requires consistent effort, patience, and understanding. We become more compassionate with ourselves, recognizing that growth is a journey filled with both successes and setbacks. Each moment of self-belief adds to our confidence, empowering us to face the future with courage and optimism. In the end, mastering self-belief is about honoring our potential and trusting ourselves to bring our dreams to life. It's about knowing that no matter what obstacles arise, we have the strength to overcome them. Self-belief frees us from the constraints of self-doubt, comparison, and fear, allowing us to pursue our goals with unwavering commitment. This belief in ourselves is the foundation of every great accomplishment, and it gives us the courage to create a life that is authentic, meaningful, and aligned with our true values. By mastering self-belief, we unlock our greatest potential, and we move forward not just with confidence, but with a deep sense of purpose and peace. In the journey to prove everyone wrong, the true power lies not in meeting others' expectations, but in exceeding our own. By envisioning a purpose beyond the limits others may place on us, we step into a life that is ours to shape. This path is about creating instead of competing, about focusing on our own growth rather than trying to outshine someone else. It's about finding strength in delayed gratification, realizing that the most meaningful achievements take time and resilience. And it's about mastering self-belief, understanding that we have the strength to overcome setbacks and to rise no matter the odds. Ultimately, proving others wrong is a powerful drive, but proving ourselves right, living up to our own values, potential, and purpose is the real victory. Let go of needing validation from anyone else. Instead, let the quiet confidence of self-belief fuel you. Forge a life defined by intentional choices, a deep commitment to growth, and an unshakable trust in your journey. Along this path, you will not only reach your goals, but also inspire others to believe in their own potential. Prove to yourself that you are capable of greatness, and everything else will fall into place. In conclusion, proving everyone wrong is a testament to our resilience, determination, and unwavering belief in ourselves. It's not just about challenging the doubts others have placed on us, but also about challenging our own limitations. By cultivating a clear purpose, we can navigate life with intention, ensuring our actions align with our deepest values. Embracing the mindset of creating instead of competing allows us to tap into our unique strengths and express our authenticity without being overshadowed by the achievements of others. Delayed gratification teaches us patience and persistence, showing us that the most rewarding successes often require time and effort. It reminds us that true fulfillment comes from the journey, not just the destination. Meanwhile, mastering self-belief empowers us to take risks, bounce back from failures, and remain focused on our goals, regardless of external pressures. When we refuse to let fear, doubt, or comparison dictate our choices, we create a life defined by our values and aspirations. It's a life where we are not only proving others wrong, but also proving to ourselves that we are capable of achieving greatness. So let's commit to this journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Let's step forward with courage, embracing the challenges and opportunities that come our way. The world is waiting for us to unleash our true potential. Let's prove everyone wrong by showing them the incredible things we can accomplish.